Y está la presentación.
Al estilo de Martín.
Que les guste y que disfruten de esto.
Real Betis Balompié are one of only 9 Spanish sides that have managed to win both of Spain's biggest competitions, La Liga and the Spanish Cup. In addition, the club has played in European competition on 10 occasions, making it one of Spain's most successful clubs on the continent. The city that hosts it, Seville, has the only commercial inland port in Spain. Its economy is based on local industry and tourism. It is the headquarters of a number of companies in the aerospace and car component sectors, as well as the home of Europe's biggest brewery. Seville is in the south of Spain and is the capital of Andalusia. The metropolitan area that consists of 46 districts has a population of more than 1.5 million people. San Pablo Airport is 17 kilometers from the stadium and can be reached by car or bus. The city has a bus station and a high-speed train station that connects to local trains that also run to the stadium. Seville has a huge number of hotels to choose from. An excellent option is the Hotel Silcan Al Andalus, that is just 400 meters from the Benito Villamarin Stadium. It has a huge garden area that offers a relaxing stay, and prices are from €65 per room. Another option is the Hotel Barcelo Sevilla Renacimiento, that is 7 kilometers from the ground. This hotel is on the banks of the Guadalquivir River and has a unique architecture reminiscent of New York's Guggenheim Museum, with prices from €125 per night. A similarly priced hotel is the boutique Hotel Holos, just 400 meters from the stadium, with designer rooms from €129 per night.
Seville has been chosen as the ideal city to visit in 2018 by the prestigious publication Lonely Planet, the first time a Spanish city has received such an award. So 2018 will be an extra special year for what is a millennial city. Its people are always one of its main selling points, as is Seville's cultural offering. The city will also commemorate the 400th anniversary of the birth of the painter, Murillo.
This is the famous Torre del Oro, one of the famous iconic symbols of Seville, and it's well worth the trip to see it. The tower is a 12-sided flanking tower with a structure that makes it a strong defense. It's one of the first things that boats arriving in the city see from the river. Its name supposedly comes from the fact that it's built using a lime mortar and pressed straw. The reflection from the sun on the straw made it look like the tower was made from gold. From here we can see the Aljarafe, the island of La Cartuja, Triana, and the dock of the Guadalquivir River, which helps the city avoid flooding. All of these things we can see from the Torre del Oro. Apart from being an iconic part of the city, it's also one of the best places to take in this great view across the city.
We're in the central area of the General Archive of the Indies. That was founded by Carlos III in 1785, in what was the old Merchants' Exchange. This building was built on the orders of Felipe II by his architect, Juan de Herrera. It's been visited by thousands of people since the day it was opened. In the General Archive of the Indies, you can research all sorts of things, not just historical matters, but also about native populations from all over the world, or the protection of underwater cultural heritage. This cannon is an example of how useful documentary heritage can be to protect things like sunken wrecks.
The square of the Santa Cruz district, which is also one of the most beautiful in the whole city, is the place where legend has it that the beautiful Susana could be found, one of the best-known tales in Seville. There we can find a tile under a window with a skull on it, and they say it's really the skull of Susana that was there for many years. It was a symbol of how she was a traitor against her own father, who was a Jewish man who organized a rebellion against the Christians in the 15th century.
What we are wearing is a typical Sevillana dress that changes according to the season. It is not normal to dress like this every day, just when the April Fair is on.
Hello, I'm Isa Sanchez, a former professional basketball player and currently the coach of the Spanish women's team. Behind me we have the Triana Bridge and the Common Chapel. The Triana Bridge is famous in Seville for its history. In medieval times it was the only bridge here, so it was the only way to get from Triana to Seville. This is not a castle, although it looks like one. It is in fact the Triana market. In the past, Triana market was a castle, the castle of San Jorge. It was a medieval fortress that defended all of Seville. A tapa of cheese and a ham one, please. Seville's best pastime is to go for tapas with your friends. A nice bit of cheese and ham with a good wine is fantastic. I'd recommend everyone to come here for a tapa. Don't miss out.
Hello, my name is Juanito, and I'm a former player for Real Betis and Spain. We're in Plaza Nueva, an important place in Seville where Betis celebrate their titles. We're in Plaza del Salvador with its famous church. Many people in Seville ask to get married here, but what I most like here is to enjoy a beer. This part of the city where we are now is Plaza del Salvador, where there's a lot of small bars to have a beer and a tapa before going off to eat.
Look, fried calamari.
Great.
And olives the size of melons.
Here we've got all we need, thanks.
OK, enjoy.
Thanks, we have to eat them, shall we?
This bar is famous more than anything for its marinated anchovies. It has been going since the 60s. Sorry, since 64. And it has a very typical smell here in the centre of Seville. Lots of people here would not know the name of the street, but they'll know it by this bar, and they can tell you exactly where it is.
The great thing for any visitor who comes to Seville is they can find all sorts of cuisines. If they want modern cooking, they can find a well-known chef. A lot of Michelin star chefs are coming here now. You can also find traditional food that reminds us of our grandparents' cooking.
We're in a restaurant with some spectacular views. Just behind us is the Torre del Oro. Also, in the background, you can see the Giralda. And of course, there's the river. This place is a bit different from others. It has a modern, new-look feel about it. This is a dish that I always enjoyed with my grandmother, using typical food from Seville, such as chickpeas with cod, sweet potatoes or chard. Moving on from this traditional dish that we've just made, we're going to move on now to a more modern cuisine. We're going to make a chickpea cannelloni filled with cod brandade, and we're going to add chard sauce together with chickpeas. Lovely. And to finish, we'll add some flowers. Here we have an updated version of a typical Seville dish.
Gazpacho is a dish that all of Andalusia is famous for, not just Seville. There is a specific time of year to make it, and even though you can get tomatoes all year round, the traditional time is summer.
What surprised me most is how they danced the Sevillana.
Wow, amazing. I had never been to see flamenco, but it's marvelous. The hairs stand up on the back of your neck with all the stomping.
Flamenco is fantastic.
Seville has a good number of interesting shops, and it has become one of the important factors in the growth of visits by tourists in recent years.
It's very difficult to understand Seville without Betis, and to understand Betis without Seville. I think Betis, in a way, is just like the city of Seville. It has art and soul. Betis represents the city better than any other team. The atmosphere couldn't be any better at the newly renovated stadium with its 60,000 capacity. It's a fiesta. Everything about it is special. The way it sounds, the way it smells. It reminds you of those times when you come here to watch football as a little kid. It's a must-live experience. Everyone should experience a goal celebration at the South Stand, where the most passionate fans are. If they don't become a Betis fan come the final whistle, then there must be something wrong with them. Joaquin is Betis. Joaquin is pure Betis because he's the combination of quality and art both on and off the pitch. He's the perfect representation of what Betis is about, and therefore, he's Betis.
Betis for me is everything. It means so much because it's where I became a footballer and a man. My whole life has been linked to Betis both personally and professionally. I can't imagine my life without being able to step onto the pitch or watch a game from the stands. So one day, when the time comes for me to leave, I will sit in one of these seats. This is the one I won in 2005, the King's Cup. Imagine what it meant for us to win a title after so many years. Betis fans went crazy. My God. I remember arriving the next day at the train station in Seville, and it was impossible to walk anywhere. Well, I remember arriving at the stadium the day before, and when you look at some photos from above, it literally appears like the bus was being carried by the fans. I remember looking through the window off the bus and seeing police horses escorting us, and they were stepping on people who were falling to their knees. But they were cheering us on, with horses stepping on them. Look, I'm even getting goosebumps now. Betis fans experience things in a different way. We are different in everything we do. This is the way it is.
He was a key figure, the captain, an intelligent person on the pitch who always knew what he had to do as a player. He was really something special and a good person too. I deal with him here at the club, and I say Alexis is a club man, regardless of his role. He's professional and acts in Betis' best interests.
Every year, our goal is to look for a number of players who we consider to be good enough to strengthen our squad. It's a very humble club where people are extremely loyal to the club's colours. And this is something that fills you with pride. I've spent almost 13 years here in 3 different spells, and I can assure you, you never get tired. In fact, it's the opposite. I feel more and more motivated to continue to do things well and to improve.
The fans are the most important thing. It's true that when things don't go well, they suffer. But then in the next game, they're behind the team, cheering them on with all their passion. I've always said our fans are Betis' biggest asset.
Passion, heart and lots of joy is what I feel when I hear the word Betis. It's the cure for everything.
Betis is about real feelings.
It's not about winning titles, it's about your heart.
Till death do us part.
It's the best team in the world, and Betis is something you carry in your heart.
4 people at home are now Betis fans after being fond of Seville.
Betis, they're the biggest passion in the world.
It's a green and white feeling.
It's a very strong feeling that you carry with you from childhood. It can't be put into words.
It means everything, just everything. Betis is my heart, my life, everything. I love it like I would my brother.
My heart is green and white.
¡Viva el Betis!
¡Viva Real Betis, balompié! ¡Viva el Betis, aunque pierda! ¡Viva el Betis!
When Betis lose or is criticised, for me it's like a knife blow to the chest. After my love for my kids comes my love for Real Betis balompié.
Vamos a mi Betis, campeón.
¡Viva el Betis!
¡Viva el Betis, aunque pierda!
¡Viva el Betis!
¡Mucha Betis!
Betis is all over Europe.
Betis is by far the greatest team in Spain.
Better than both Barcelona and Real Madrid.
I am Dutch, but I support Betis.
¡Viva el Betis! ¡Venga!
From 0 to 10, I'd give them 10 out of 10.
¡Viva